Fear of failure is good. Fear of failure will keep you up at night, planning and rehearsing and going over contingencies. Fear of failure will keep you training hard.
What's up, guys? RicoCapital back again for another banger recap video. Now today, this was requested by a lot of members. Today we absolutely killed it. We caught the downside on SPY, huge sell-off. We caught the downside on QQQ, huge pullback. And we went 2 for 2, 3 for 3 if you want to count this nice bounce on SPY. We saw this demand bounce. We caught some calls on the way up, rode it up. We're some real traders over here. We're playing the downside, we're playing the upside. But what I want to focus on is the opening drive, the opening play, kind of pre-market. I want to go over kind of what candles are kind of telling you in the time. And then, of course, go over the trade recap of how we killed this. So this is how we did it. All right, so pre-market, right? This really stems back from last night. So last night I got on the review session, told the team, look, more than likely that if we hold up here, we'll squeeze and go higher. Now, if we end up breaking this yellow trend line and end up coming down, likely that we break uptrend. If we lose 599.600, you have to know your levels. So one thing I do know is this level right here, this demand turns supply now, that was holding. I knew that if we got under this, we would sell off pretty hard. Now, the reason I know that is because 600 is a psych level for the market as a whole. It's a huge kind of benchmark for SPY. It's a huge, benchmark for SPY-X because that was the 6,000 level. So bulls want to stay above this. Bulls like even numbers. Bulls, the market loves, psych levels, things like that, So I knew that if they lost 600, 599 zone right here, this Ricocap zone, more than likely we're going to reject and come down to 596 and then 591 easy. So that's kind of what I was seeing pre-market, right? So we gapped down. You can see we gapped down pre-market as it opened up 4 in the morning. We kind of saw that we held this range. We look like we pushed right up here. Notice this. This is the one thing that separates me from the best, right? I saw a lot of big accounts on Twitter pre-market talking about we're going to push right back up because yesterday we gapped down, same thing to this same zone, but we came back and we slammed calls and we banked off calls yesterday. What was the difference between yesterday ripping back up and today selling off, right? Because we gapped down yesterday, we ate the gap back up. We didn't take any puts, we took only calls and banked to our target 603, 602. So what did I see that was different? And here it is. We gapped down and held this zone, right? So we're holding the bottom of the zone. Notice how we saw that pre-market, they tried to eat the gap up here. If this was a bearish, they want to get this gap out the way to have no reason to come up here, right? So if we kind of think of that same, thought going into here, notice how we gapped down and we didn't grind up to eat the gap. We gapped down and went lower, kind of rounded out, and then kind of near open, we start shooting up, rounding out and shooting up. That's the main difference here. We did the opposite. We gapped down, tried to round out to eat that gap and come down. So that's how I knew more than likely we're going to reject the 600 level, 599, and we're going to come down to 596. So as I was seeing this kind of pre-market, as we got closer to market open, we saw that we started getting weaker and weaker and weaker, and we're already under the zone about 15 minutes until market open. So I knew more than likely if we opened up under 599, it's possible we pop back up to retest this and then reject, but the chances of us doing that are a lot higher and then staying up here unless we opened up under 598.19, this blue level right here. You gotta have your levels. One thing I'm really good at is charting and understanding levels. That's the one thing that separates me from the rest. That's why I have a huge team behind me. This is why they trust my levels, because I do the hard work for them. All they have to do is follow the level. So notice how right before open, that last 15 minutes, we knifed down, opening up right at around 597.50. So we're under the 598 level, meaning the hourly, the daily, and everything is going to open up here under 599 and of course 598. That is enough conviction for me to know at open puts will work. I did take the chance at open thinking we could squeeze higher to this blue line for a retest and then reject, or even possible squeeze up higher to this zone and then reject down. But I took that chance right at open because I have to, enter my position, turn around, and then alert the members. So I already told the members right before open, 30 minutes, I give the updated plans. I'm eyeing these options, right at open, be ready. So before open, of course, I said I'm eyeing the SPY 596 puts lottos. Since today's Lotto Friday, I'm going same day expiration. We only touch lottos on Friday. So I'm going 596, knowing that, these 596 not only should be cheap, that they'll go in the money if we knife into this demand right here, because this is a 596, 595 demand. So right at open, we opened up, we start pushing a little bit. I slammed those puts, turned around, alerted the members. I got filled at 79, and then I got filled the rest at 73, making my average, 70, and then making my average 73. So it was, I had to make the split decision, but just in case I did get squeezed, I went in half position. And then I said, nope, I got to go in. And so took my full position at 70, making my average 73, alerted out to the members, 73 is my entry. And so here we go. And immediately, we started working and getting that push down to 596 demand right there. And then of course we saw kind of a push back up a little bit. They failed the 597, and the next candle open, we dumped all the way down. So now we got filled at $73 right here, buy all the way down here. The puts ran. They ran to over $500 a contract. We got them for $73, ran to over $500. It's over 400%. And it was exactly what we're looking for. Exactly to the T. You had to have really just hung on tight, but almost 700%, like 600, 700% on those. Once we lost this, I knew we were going to come down to the 591, 592. Notice how we kind of started ping-ponging between these levels, failed it, tried to come back up, failed it, and finally came down to that, demand where I knew buyers would step in here because they're fighting it a little bit too much down here. Same time, right? QQ was selling off. I really wish I went QQ, to be honest. That was a really good knife. $2 knife right there. But we actually took some round 2 puts on QQ instead of SPY. So I saw right here on this 15-minute candle, we opened up perfectly under this zone right here. So we lost this one. This should be red now, right? So this turns into a supply. And of course, we had to be looking out for, what could happen under here. Is there going to be more selling? Is there going to be more pressure? It was a good amount of pressure for QQ. We got to this demand right here. And so once we opened up under on the 15, we started pushing up from there. That's when I slammed head first some QQQ puts. And those were just as great, if not, better. I don't want to say better because, to be honest, they're both insane calls, both over 100, 200, 300%. And we absolutely killed it. So for the QQQs, I slammed the 521s, Lotto, same thing. So I knew we would come down to this demand right here if we end up failing, 523. We entered on this green candle, we pushed up, we shorted into this, got it for $100. As the candle dried up, exactly what we look for. Next one opened up under the 15 opened up under the zone again, meaning bears still in control, and we got the knife all the way down. So these went in the money, deep in the money, as they went down to 518. And those puts went from $100 a contract, all the way up to, let me check right now live. They went to, $300 a contract, over 200%. And we're selling, trimming all out kind of thing, and beautiful. So, another question the members were asking, right? All right, Rico, we opened up under this 520 zone right here. How come more puts could not work? all the way down to 517. Now, they did depending on your entry, but if you're talking lottos, you need to understand this. As we get closer to lunchtime, right? At this point, we're already about 2 hours in. And one thing about the market is the first 2 hours extremely volatile, the last 2 hours volatile. In between is lunchtime. Don't even be trying to mess with this because you're going to see a lot of just this, sideways chop, maybe, range. Not every day, but you're going to see it most days. I would say 99% of the days, unless it's a trend day, you're going to see something like this. So as we knifed and it held right here, notice it did open up under, and puts could have worked for a faster trade as we got close to 517. But look at these candles on the 15. This right here is telling us, buyers are stepping in. And you could have seen it even on this candle right here because they held the body in here. They held it there. So the next one opened up, and you can see the wicks on both sides. So sellers are still here, sure, but the bigger the wick right here, you can see the buyers are all down here, meaning, we're too close to a bigger demand that they could step in. At this point, we're already down $6 on QQ, $7, $8. How much more do you need? That's already a lot. So we need to, step back a little bit and understand, all right, big wick, this second one right here, big wick, they're showing you the buyers are here. They pushed it up a little bit, couldn't really do it. Pushed it right back to this zone, pulled it right down. You see all these wicks. At this point, it did make a new low, but they're trying to trap sellers down here, and you need to be getting all out. As you can see, you would have got squeezed a little bit here. You would have got saved down here. Get all out as a sign, and then you can see that they ended up, holding it, pulling it back. But the wicks tell you everything. The wicks do the damage, but the wicks are telling you, down here buyers are there, right? They're all there. Wicks like this tell you, sellers are all here even as we reclaim this. So you could have entered right here and got that immediate move down. And if you come look at SPY, what was I seeing? Kind of the same thing. We're ping-ponging through these levels. Once we got that official touch, you can see, we created kind of an abandoned baby right here. This is where you need to understand candlestick patterns, right? Look at the wicks. You don't want to see big wicks at the bottom of this demand after selling off. That means buyers are here and they're trying to hold this desperately. And then you see it, we opened up, pushed up. Even if you took calls right here, the first 15 minute after we rounded out, took it right there, you would have banked perfectly right there. We came right back to this zone up here, which is, a demand now turning supply. I knew that, more than likely this was my target. Sellers turning up here. Buyers turn to sellers, so the sellers took over. So you're going to see some type of resistance, and that's exactly what we saw right there. Cashed out those quick calls, those sniper calls, and you can see that pull down. And now we're ping-ponging in between there. And so you need to pay attention, right? What are the candles telling you? Are the candles wicking up huge up here, knowing sellers are here? Are they wicking up down here at the bottom, knowing, buyers are here? Also, you need to have your levels, right? The Ricocap zones are what I trust, what I use, and why I'm profitable, because they tell me where sellers are at. They tell me the sellers are here. They tell me the buyers are here. I can be on the right side of the winning trade, right? And understand, okay, calls could work here. We stopped bleeding for a pushback into range. We lost this demand. Now turning supply, we can short here and then, ride it down for the next zone where we're going to get that touch right there. Perfectly in this zone. So you need to understand, guys, what are the candles telling you? I know some of this happens fast, but not fast enough where, you can't understand this. If I'm seeing this, I need to be very careful. And you can use, other indicators if you want, right? Some RSI. You see that RSI is already down on the 15 minute, like in the 13 range right here. 30 is already low. 70 is overbought. 30 is oversold. So we're already really low down here, meaning, man, some type of bounce is going to come. So you need to understand maybe that. Maybe volume profile, right? We saw that we shorted, up here knowing that there's low, not that many, buyers sitting up here. It's just low volume. And once we got down here, a lot more volume. And I know there's a lot more volume here, or a lot more, buyers, sellers sitting around here, because the zones are very tight here. So I don't really want to be playing too much in here. And there's just a lot of mixed action in here. So I want to kind of stay away from this on QQQ. And of course, maybe even look at volume. Maybe ride it open, you saw a huge volume. It's kind of dumping off. And as we're getting closer to lunchtime, it's kind of lower here, So whatever your indicator you want to use on top of the zones, to help you, then I'm all for it. But, The candlesticks will tell you more than anything. You can watch the tape, you can understand where the buyers or sellers are sitting, and then understand where the candlesticks are kind of telling you there. So, monster play for us on SPY here. Really good plays on, my watch list I gave out for free on the main Twitter. Gave it out, of course, to the members. We had NVIDIA, we had Tesla. So many good plays here that we capitalized off of, and had a really good day. And we're setting up beautifully for Monday, and that's what we're looking for going into next week. So hopefully this recap kind of helped you understand more about this. I want you guys to get off the lower time frames, get off that. I can show you the 5 minute. If we get on the 5 minute, you can see, all right, this can try and scare you out here if you don't know what you're doing. 10 minute, don't even look at it. 3 minute, 2 minute, don't even look at it. Get on the 15, get on the hourly. The hourly is, bread and butter for me, because I knew if we opened up under this 598, we're just going to knife. And if it's a huge, hourly candle, we're going to get a huge move. You don't got to do much. Huge move. The 15 is just, four candles of the hourly. So I really love the 15. Tells me a lot, especially these 4 candles, they're all red. These next 4 kind of tell you, mostly green, then, more red, all green. So it really can help you. So stay on the 15, stay on the hourly, use the 5 if you need to check, but don't enter unless it's 15 or higher, So this is exactly, what we're looking for on a day like this, where you can turn a little bit of money into a lot of money. We've seen it time and time again. I'm doing it time and time again, and I want you guys to win. So hopefully you take what I'm telling you to heart, and I'm trying to turn you guys into snipers here. This was a sniper move. Right it open was a sniper move. I was looking exactly for that. And one thing also I was looking at too, as the move was happening pre-market, I was like, okay, let's see what we do here. I draw a little trend line like this, knowing we're kind of in a flag here. I don't need to draw the top part because I can see it with my eyes, but I just know that if this is bearish, we're gonna break this and go lower. So okay, all right, so same thing. As we're kind of getting near open, I could have easily been like this, draw that right there, delete that one because it's kind of invalidated. Now see that we did not get above this yellow trend line. If this was bullish, we would have saw open up here, and then boom, it would have slowly tried to grind away and then came back like that. But as you can see, we didn't even get that chance. It was nothing but sellers at open, no time to kind of second guess. Easy stuff right there. So there's a lot of tricks you can use to understand what's going on. So hopefully you can take this from me and learn. If not, it's all good. More practice makes perfect. The more you learn, the more you earn. And, if you're a member watching this, guys, lock in with me. Listen to what I'm saying. Stop trying to do extra stuff or listen to what the chat. I know it's fun to talk in the chat and bullshit, and we're all, posting plays and, our gains and everything. Focus on what I'm saying on the private Twitter. That's your gold right there. I'm telling you, I bought this. Trim here, stops for a buy. Sell all out here. Be ready here. Do this. I'm eyeing this. I'm not tweeting out a million things, so be ready, and have it set and ready to go. And trust me a little bit more if you need that help. And trust the zones more importantly. They're going to tell you where the buyers are at. They're going to tell you where the sellers are at. And so you can be on the right side of the winning trade. So hopefully this helped. Like, comment, subscribe, show some love. Just wanted to give you all the recap on today, and hopefully this helped you guys out. I'll see you guys on the next recap.